Hi everyone, it's Jenny. Welcome to my channel. Thank you so much for joining me. So we are here and it is week 20 of our mixed media challenge. It is the last week. So I have done 20 weeks and this time it is called number 20, What an Adventure. I think that's so apt because what an adventure we have been on. So let me show you. I've cut all the pieces out first of all. Now this is hosted by Amanda at Scrimping Mummy. I'll leave a link as per every other challenge if you've watched me do these last 20. Well done for sticking with me if you have, and I'm so pleased with myself that I've managed to stick with it because mixed media is not something I've ever done before, so this was my first time. So what an adventure. What have we got? Well, we've got a little bit of Alice in Wonderland. So these are the ephemera pieces that I've cut out already. So there's that one. There's this beautiful rose. We've got two of those. There's this little mouse in a teacup. We have got a mushroom. We've got a heart. We've got this little bottle. We've got these gorgeous teacups. And then we've got two sentiments. And we've got surround yourself with people who make you smile. Only then will you find Wonderland. And then the other sentiment is every adventure requires a first step. Love it. And this has been my adventure and I took the first step from doing this. So I absolutely love this sentiment. So for the last week, what I've decided to do, because it's very bulky this now because I've put things in and it isn't very flat for stamping and things. So I've got a plain white piece of paper and what I've done is I've cut it zigzagged with my scissors just because you've got that sort of playing card, you know, triangle, diamond, you know, shape. So I've gone round the edge because, as you know, if we don't know, I'm using my old calendar as my folder. So I've gone round the edge with my red Posca pen and just given myself a little border so that once I've done the actual page, it will go on like that and we'll have this lovely red border, which I thought would suit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move my folder out of the way because we are just going to work on here because it's quite bulky and I want to do some stamping and I don't think that's going to happen. So let me show you what I've got. So apart from the pieces of ephemera and the sentiments, I have got out some, I've got black soot distress ink, I've also got fire brick, but I've also got some of my other ones that I've got, which I think I've got from the Range Art Studio. So I've got a metallic red and I've got a metallic blue. I think this was from the Range. And I've also got an Ink It Up, which this one is pink. Because pink is my favourite colour, as everyone knows, if you don't know. But there is a sort of an element of pink in the roses. So I thought I might bring that in. But that's the choices that we've got. So I've got two stamps. I haven't got a stencil with a diamond on, which is what I was going to use, but I've got these sort of crackled effects stamps, which I'll show you the front of them just so you can see. So you've got that sort of one and that one, which is what I'm going to use on my background. I've also found in my material, I found some bits of lace. So I've just cut some random bits up because I may well use them. And in fact, I need to get my fabric glue out if we do use that. So that might be used as a bit behind. I've done a couple of bows and I've done them off screen because I'm no good at making bows on screen. I'm all fingers and thumbs. I found this old piece of ribbon with some polka dots on, which I thought was quite good, and it's faded a little bit, so to be honest I probably wouldn't use that on anyone's card, but this is my own mixed media folder, so I'm happy to use it on that. And I've done a little black one as well, so we've got that sort of to put on. Now, excuse the state of my nails. I really need to paint them, which I'm going to do this afternoon, but I didn't want to do them before I did this challenge. I was down the allotment yesterday and yeah, I was doing gardening and nails, gloves and gardening are not a great combination. So let's get started. So what I thought I might do is just, before I start stamping, I'm going to give myself a border on here because I want to see how this colours, how they come out. So I'm just literally going to give myself a bit of colour here. I know it looks pretty harsh, but I want to see how these colours come out, because this paper is slightly shiny. So I'm just seeing, I'm quite happy, this is why I wanted the gloves, to mix this around a little bit. Now, it might look an absolute horrid mess to you in the beginning, but as I always say, please just trust the process. We might want some water in a minute, but yeah, trust the process, go with it, and I'm sure it won't be that much of a hot mess when we're finished. I would never, ever have tried this at the beginning. On the first page, had you have said just spread your ink across the page and just smush it in, I'd be like, no, I can't do that. So if nothing, this has taught me to just be a bit more, just do it, just have a go. What's the worst that can happen? It goes really wrong, but you can always, it's paper, you can always, well, that didn't smush too bad actually. I probably don't need to put my finger over that. So yeah, let's have a bit of that, and let's have a bit of blue down there. And I know someone's going to be thinking, good grief, Jenny, that is an absolute mess. Yes, it might be at this stage a mess, but it won't end up in a mess. Oh, put that on the wrong way. You can see why I have to wear the gloves, regardless whether my nails are any good or not. I mean, my hands will be no good at the end of this. Right, I also would like to try this pink. So let's go down the middle with the pink. Yeah. Oh, whoops, I just pushed it too hard and taken the sponge off. Well, that's not bad. It's not bad. I mean, it just looks an absolute mess, but let's not worry about that. Right, let's get, first of all, should really let that dry a little bit, but I might have to get my VersaFine ink out because I'm not sure how this is going to come out, but don't push too hard on that one for future reference. Now let's just have a look at my VersaFine Black Onyx, and just out of interest how this one comes out on here. Okay, sorry about all the scrunching, it's the gloves and they're a bit big. They're only the petrol station ones. Yes, perfect, there we go. Right, okay, so I don't necessarily, now I'm not going to speak too soon because I'm keeping my fingers crossed, but you know who, D-A-I-S-Y, not saying the name because she's currently asleep in her bed next to me, and let's see if we can get through a whole video without her barking. It could happen. Now, I know this is looking a mess at the moment, but let's go with it. So I'm thinking something like that. Let's see where we're going to have our roses. We have got quite a lot of bits and pieces. Did I spill something on that? I do like these cups of tea as well. See, there is going to be quite a bit of things that are overlapped. And then we've got the bottle. We've got that, and we've got the mushroom. Right, okay, so I think might go for the mushroom there. So let's have the rose down there and the mushroom there. I like that. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to stick, where's my glue? Let me get my glue out. I'm wondering if I should have a bit of red at the bottom there, really. Although I don't think you're going to see it once I've put... No, you're not. So I'm going to put a tiny bit of glue on the bottom. I've used some old Christmas paper to print this off on. Just putting a bit on the bottom there and a bit there. Because I don't want to do the tops yet, because I might want to slide. I'm just hoping I'm in shot. Make sure that my... Yeah, it's come up a little bit. There we go. I'm thinking if I have that there and that there. So literally I'm just sticking those two together. And I'll put a little bit on the back of that one. And I don't want to stick it right up top yet, because I don't know what I might want to pop under. So you're not even going to see under there. And that's fine. Because I quite like... Now, that's still wet, so I'm going to get it everywhere, aren't I? If I'm not careful. Now, my little Alice, where are you going to go? Because you want your teapots, or your teacups with you. I'm just seeing. Do we have the teacups above or below? Do we have that up there? I'm going to go with that first of all, because I'm happy that I'm going to put that up there. Happy that that's going to go there. Okay. Happy that that's going there, but I might want to pop a bit of this lace just coming out of there in a minute. Just a little bit under there. Just leave it there for a minute, because I'm not 100% at this moment. I definitely would like a piece underneath the... I did say the heart is a spade, isn't it? It is a heart. Do you know what? I can't even think of the... it is a spade. Yeah, I can't even think of the cards now. See, I play cards a lot, can't you? Because that's the heart, the spade, the diamond. Yeah, silly me. Right, so I'm thinking that I might just have a bit of the black lace under there, which, if that's the case, I'm going to put a bit of fabric glue just on the corner of the lace, and then I'm going to stick the spade probably just stuck that, yeah, stuck that to my mat rather than it's gone through. That will stick in a minute. There we go. Right. Okay, so I'm going to take these gloves off for a minute while I do the gluing, because I'm just getting in a bit of a situation. Okay, so I'm happy that that's going to go there. So let me just pop a bit of fabric glue under there, and that will just secure that piece. Like so. That's it, that's gone through now. And then we'll have a bit of normal glue under here, and that will secure that to there. Okay. Now, young Alice, I'm thinking you're going to go there. So let's just stick you down. And pop you about there. I like that. Don't need to keep her up because I'm not sticking anything underneath of her. I'm still getting myself in a situation here. So yes, well done to anyone who's watched my whole challenge through the weeks, over the weeks that we've been doing it. I have thoroughly enjoyed it. I really have. Totally has taken me out of my comfort zone. I've been using things that I've got in my craft room, but I've just been looking at and thinking, am I going to use those? There we go. And what I like about this is that there's no right or wrong. If you think it looks good there, you put it there, because there's no right or wrong. So my little teacup is going to go there, that one. I do like this bottle, which I'm thinking I might have that down next to the mushroom. I like that. Put a tiny bit on there. And then this afternoon, I should be doing my nails. As I say, I've been down the allotment where we've had this lovely weather. I've had to be getting things planted up down there. And yes, it's not kind on your nails, gardening. So I'm going to have to go at an angle with this, but I don't want to cover the actual... Do you know what? I don't mind going on top there. So let me just put some glue on the... Let me just take that. It's got a bit of a bobble on there. There we go. That's gone. I'm just going to put a squidgy of glue on there. And we're just going to go there. Like that. I'll put a normal bit of glue under there. That should hold that down. Once it dries, it will. Okay, so that's that. Now, normally I've coloured them each week, but I'm not sure that I want to this week. So I did cut them out, but I'm just going to snip them in half. Just going to cut, get rid of that. Get rid of that bit. Just go around. Get rid of that. Right, so we've got, and I can have that up here, every adventure requires just a lovely sentiment. A first step. And yes, this has been my first step journey into mixed media. I thoroughly enjoyed it. First of all, I was a bit sad that it was going to be over, but actually Amanda has already started a new challenge, but it's going to be more difficult because she's not, she's giving us the... I'll show you when I do my first one. Now, I'm thinking, I don't know that I want that whole sentiment like that, because it's going to... I'm going to make it a bit smaller. Because otherwise I'm not going to get it all in. Let's just turn that over. Let's just cut that and make that a bit smaller. Just fuzzy cut around that. Oh, nearly got the E there. That one. Cut that bit off there. Just come around there. This is the last bit. And then I think, just have a look at it. So let's have a look. Surround yourself. Let's leave that glue upside down a minute. Surround yourself with people who make you smile. Let's just pop a bit of glue on there so I can push that down. Who make you smile. Only then will you find Wonderland. Love it. Now, I was thinking I was going to be stamping, but you know what? I don't think I am. No, because I don't want to do anything on that, but I am going to get out my red, which I think is Ruby Slippers. Jenny, no, that's pink. Ruby Slippers. Alice in Wonderland, Ruby Slippers. That's a bit, I'm just going to put some, just to have a bit of glitter on the mushroom, there and there. I'll let that dry before I stick it down. I might actually do the heart. Just have a little bit in the heart, a little bit on that teacup. Ruby Slippers, that was Dorothy, wasn't it? In The Wizard of Oz. Sorry, Alice. I was getting myself muddled up then on films. Right, that's that. We've got that one. I don't think I've got any other colours, but my favourite stickles, the crystal, I'm just going to give little Alice a bit of glitter in her hair because she warrants it. Coming down there. Brilliant. So I'm going to leave it at that, you know. So that's going to go. Let's just get my page out. I'm not going to stick it down yet because I'll wait till this has dried. Oh no, let the bows. We've got to have the bows. Right, I think I need to cut that one a bit shorter. Wrong scissors. That's what happens when you use right. I'll have that one there. So let's just put a bit of fabric down there. It's not my greatest bow, I have to say. But do you know what? It's for me. Just push that down a minute. I like that. And then we have got a little other one, which I think the ends are a bit long. I need to snip them slightly. Take them off. And then oh, I don't know. Down there. So I want a tiny bit there. And then that little bow is going to stick there. There we go. Where's my white? There we go. Right, so let me just pop that there a minute. I'm going to get my page back out. I'm not going to stick it down with you now. I'm just going to show you how it's going to look with the red background. So there you have it. Alice in Wonderland. Every adventure requires a first step. Surround yourself with people who make you smile. Only then will you find Wonderland. I'm so happy with that. Now, if you haven't seen, I'm just going to quickly, because this will be the last mixed media of this one, 20. So I want to just quickly show you my pages if you haven't seen them. So here we go. So I made that front one out of bits and pieces that I had. And various, these all mean something to me. So this love heart was, I've cut this out of a birthday card that I got from my mum and dad. One of my really good friends, this was a gift tag on one of my Christmas presents, and that's on there. These were given to me by another friend. So just, this is from the lovely Dawn from Shiny Silver Treasures. Just things made me want to have them on the front that meant something to me. So I did make a little pocket at the beginning and put all my scraps in. So our first ever page was here, and I think this was back in January. I didn't put the date on them, but this was there was this one. Then we did the love heart one for Valentine's, which is upside down, as you can see. It was the one that I got wrong in the whole book because I did it upside down. But it was the first time that I used this stencil, and I used some paste. I actually made that up myself, that paste, and I thought that came out really well. So that was yeah, that was number 2. Then we had this one, True Gentleman Puts More into the World Than He Takes Out. We then had this bee one, which I really enjoyed doing this one as well. Although I'm not a fan of yellow, to me it wasn't quite yellow. We then had the stitch one, Sewing Mends the Soul. I loved doing that one. I really liked that one. And then we got Believe in the Magic, and with the butterflies and the little flower girl. We then went on to the adventure, Enjoy the Journey, and the steam, the suitcases, the lady. That was really lovely. And from there we went to dance. Life is a dance, take more chances, more dances and ballet theme. We then from the ballet went to a cup of tea, a good cup of tea, and this was a blue theme, which I really enjoyed doing as well. We then went from there, I think that was a spring one, which I put some beautiful, you know, bits on. I got these for my birthday from the lovely Kim Kelly, and yeah, various bits. This was a ribbon from my advent calendar at Christmas. So that was that one. We then went on and did the ocean one, which set the scene. Used this Hessian. This was from my sister. It was left over from her wedding. So that's, yeah, that's on there. We then went from there to Dare to Be Different, and we had to make our own mixed media background page, which I really enjoyed doing this one. Not all because there was pink in it, but because of the pink as well. I loved this book one, absolutely loved doing this one, and I used my 3D paint, that Anita's 3D paint, which I hadn't used before, and that came out really well. And the little stamps, loved this one as well. Then we had the Japanese, which I used my crayons on this one and found that the wax crayons for the first time, and found that the splatters from them were brilliant. So that was that one. Then we had the Solace, Nature's Solace, Find Your Peace in Nature, and this beautiful little girl in the little tree house with the butterflies and the flowers. Loved that one. And then we had Make and Mend with the sewing room, and I used old buttons, I used bits of old material, this sort of pink, I don't know what this is called, but old buttons that I had, some thread. Loved that one. We then had this number 19, Grow in Difficult Situations, Make a Wish it was called, Be Resilient. What I need to do is go back over them and put down the name of the project so that I know when I look back. And then week 20, which is the last week we have just done together. And that's it. What an adventure. So thank you so much for everyone that has watched me along this way. This isn't the end. It's the end of this mixed media challenge, but I will be starting something new. I've also got some other projects that I want to share with you. So thank you so much for joining me. If you've stayed to the end with me, I'm going to do another sort of face-to-face hello catch-up, because I've only done one, and that was quite some time ago. So if there are any questions, you know, that you would like to ask or have answered, you know, when I'm doing this face-to-face, then please do pop the questions in the comments. You know, it could be art related, garden related, you know, whatever you like. But if there's anything you would like to know more about me, obviously, you know, I'll look at the questions and see what they are and how I'm going to answer them. But yeah, please do pop that in the comments. That would be great. And I will then answer them when I come on and do my face-to-face, which probably be next week, I imagine. But again, sorry this one's gone on, but it is the end of this adventure and it's time to start a new adventure. But yeah, thanks everyone for joining me, your continual support. All my subscribers, new and old, absolutely love the journey that we're going on. So take care everyone, crafty hugs, and I'll see you soon. Bye bye.